Good morning. This is Gene Vexler, aka Gino Love. How are you? I'm always talking to you when the music is really loud or I'm in a big hurry. It's about 6:30 in the morning, Sunday morning. I just wanted to say hello. Thank everybody for their support and music, especially the artists that trust in Vexler Records. And I just wanted to let everybody know that Vexler Records is going through some positive changes as far as quality control. The amount of releases is going to increase. We're going to divide probably into a couple of different labels for different music, as we love soulful house, we love tech house, tribal, afro, disco. So I think that all that coming from the same pipeline gives people a little bit too much and gets a little bit confusing. I'd like to apologize for any icicles. It is a little bit cold over here on Brighton Beach on the boardwalk. It's about 30 degrees. I always like to come out to the boardwalk after work to reflect on the good music that I played and clear my head of the bad music that I played. And DJing 5 nights a week or 4 times a week, it's kind of inevitable these days. I've also noticed a lot of changes in myself as a DJ and a producer, and also as an A&R, that I'd like to change, such as always loving the underground and believing in underground house, and not liking the trendy music, always looking for something different, something else to play, something to surprise people, always in a race to be the first to play something, the first to discover a certain style or an artist. I found myself, as probably a lot of us, conforming pretty much to what just a handful of DJs, not only over the world, but just here in New York, play and like. And I believe I did get caught up in pleasing just those few DJs and making music that I believe that they will like, they will support, and they will play, which is completely wrong. It goes completely against what started me as a DJ, and what started out a lot of people as a DJ, and basically nobody makes a mark in the industry doing what everybody else does. And we all go through those stages. We all want to be in the charts, on the popular websites. We all want the regular people that we follow, which is quite a few on Facebook and other social media. And there's a lot of social media these days. We try very hard to please them, to get them to play what we want to play. And I found out that in the last couple of years, I neglected what really, comes from here and from here, and different things that come accidentally from a lot of the different equipment that I like to use or misuse in a good way. Basically, a good example is house music would have never become big if everybody just played the same disco with acoustic instruments through the 70s and 80s, and God rest his soul, the great godfather of house, as we all know, Frankie Knuckles, which I had a lot of opportunities to meet in person, and visited several clubs when you can actually go to a club in Manhattan and see famous DJs, packed clubs, 6,000 people, 4,000 people, a couple of times a week. Now that's all done, and basically, if you think about it, Frankie Knuckles continued to play the classic disco without going to Europe and picking up the electronic style there and experimenting with his own customized mixes for the warehouse, we would never hear different styles. We would never hear house music. If people in Detroit didn't experiment with sounds, we would never hear techno, tech house, acid house, any kind of new music. You know, we would still be listening to classic music, probably be stuck in the 60s and 70s, which is not totally a bad thing. I grew up in the 70s, and I love, to this day, a lot of the music from there, and I love classic music. But I wanted to say that from now on, myself personally, as a producer or DJ, I'm not going to concentrate so much on trying to get a few more plays on SoundCloud or Mixcloud or anything like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what started me in the business. I'm going to look for styles and sounds and create the synths and the basses that sound good to me. And as far as signing people on the record label, please give us your best soulful house. Give us the stuff that you think is going to get in the charts. We love that stuff, and I love to play it. But I'm not being true to myself. There are a lot of things that I want to release, and I went through about 65 tracks that I started, and then I thought to myself, nobody's going to listen to this. Nobody's going to understand this. This is a little way out there. It's not the average 122 beats per minute. You do want to stick to the basics. You want to stick to a 4/4 time signature. You want to have some kind of a kick. You want music, house or underground or tech house, to be rhythmic. You need it to have a beginning, a middle, a break, and kind of an end. You can't start it and just have the same loop going on for 4 or 5 minutes and then just cut it and say, here's my track. There's got to be some sort of structure. But also, I'm going to try to pay less attention to structure and just see how it goes. See where it takes me, and, I can always change it up a bit. Which is really the term underground. Underground is what is not popular. It may not be on the charts. 1 million people might not listen to it or buy it, but it's something interesting. It's something that you're going to do that reflects what you're feeling or what you're hearing, and some people might like it. Who knows? The way the music business is right now, you're not going to sell 1 million. I'm not going to sell 1 million of each song. Definitely not. I'm not going to stream 1 million. I'm not going to do pop because there's no such thing as underground pop. Pop either becomes big or it's, I don't want to say the word, garbage. So I really wanted to tell you guys that I've given it a lot of thought, and I've analyzed it, broken down into the basics, and I find myself conforming a little bit too much of what people expect, not from me, but from music in general. And you get what you expect. We love to go to the car store, the car dealership, every couple of years and see an unexpected shape of a car that we want to get. We want to see houses that are built differently. Otherwise, we would still be driving the boxy Ford LTDs, not the Lexuses or the Maseratis, and we'd be living in regular duplexes that are square and have regular windows. We wouldn't have vaulted ceilings and skylights and interesting contraptions and so forth. So that's what I'm going to try to do, if anybody cares. As far as the artists, I really wanted to thank, there are a lot of talented artists, a lot of artists that I look up to, not only that helped me A&R, but also helped me with artwork, and I always appreciate feedback, even if it's bad. I want you to tell me, this really, really sucks, nobody's going to play this, I'm not going to play this, and from a lot of people, I love this kind of feedback. In other words, I respect what they like, and if they tell me something's wrong, something needs to be changed, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I've been making music or DJing for 29, 30 years and I've been going to clubs since I was a teenager. I'm open. to new ideas. And that's why I said that Vexler Records will eventually branch out into some garage, into some experimental European stuff, not EDM. And I would also like to kind of reminisce, for those who know me for 20, 30 years, remember me when I started. I mostly started playing on Long Island, and New Jack Swing was in, the really poppy stuff that a lot of us considered was house, was not really house, but was in, and freestyle, which I still love, was what was played on the radio. And a lot of times I would get into arguments with bartenders and bouncers and managers over me playing music, because there were no charts back in the days. We used to go to Vinyl Mania, Discorama, Decadence, whatever, and we would just stand there and listen to the DJ mix different tracks. And if we liked the track, we would raise a hand, and the DJ would hand us a vinyl. And me personally, I didn't care what label it was on or who produced it. A lot of these big DJs that we love to this day used so many different names that we would really have to read the fine print to see who it was. And of course, we had the record labels that we love, like Nervous, Strictly Rhythm, Quark, that we would automatically get what was on there, because they had such a wide variety of wonderful stuff, and to this day. So that's basically what I wanted to say. The sun is coming up. I wanted to wish everybody a happy Sunday. I'm going to go home somewhere about 50 feet that way. As you could tell, it's really cold because there's nobody swimming in Brighton Beach, and that's a rare thing. Get something to eat and go right to work. I decided that I slept plenty in my almost 48 years, and I would like to stay up a little more, have a little less dreams in my sleep, and try to make some more dreams come true for myself and for you. The people that are my friends, that are my family, my friends that are my family. I'm going to say have a great day, and I'm looking for big things from all of us. Thank you, and take care.